I feel like our intensity definitely went down. Definitely got to take accountability as one of the older guys on the team, and just again, we got outplayed. That run that we went on wasn't a mistake. We were locked in. We were doing all the right things, and we just got away from it. But again, like I said, we got a big one coming up. Back to the drawing board, watching film, looking at the things that we did well, but also the things that we did wrong that led to losing that, getting that deficit, and just build from there.
There's one point in the second half, you guys had stormed had to take the lead, and I think they were on like a 14-2 run during that run in the second half. From your perspective, what do you think just kind of happened then?
Like I said before, we just got to stay together. I know they definitely adjusted. Going into the second half, obviously coming out of that first. But again, our communication could have been better. Definitely being in the right spots. They were getting to that short roll with Hunter, and obviously Juan coming off it, me being expected to blow up that ball screen. But again, like I said, they were getting to what they wanted. We definitely could have been more defensively sound. And yeah.
Hunter's one of the best bigs in the game. What was it like battling down with him?
I played him last year. This year, his he has great touch. He's a great player. Uses his size to his advantage. Yeah, man, I never shy away from dudes bigger than me, of course. Especially, with him being the stature and accolades that he has. I love coming into games like that, playing against opponents of that stature. Yeah.
Offensively, Kansas shot 60% in the second half. What was the challenge defensively when they started to get rolling?
Our defensive execution. I think we went into this game, knowing that we didn't want to give up layups, and I believe 22 layups.
Yeah.
I think we gave up 22 layups. So, playing a team like them, giving up easy layups is pretty demoralizing, especially off like live ball turnovers and stuff like that. So you can't afford to give teams like Kansas that opportunity to get easy, fast break, transition baskets. I think that was the bigger shift in the game. It just felt like they were in transition for the whole second half, dang near. So,
Do you guys feel like you're a confident team right now?
1,000%.
absolutely.
1,000%. We belong here. Any narrative out there that we're clinging on to this, and the third, like I'm not buying any of that. Trust my guys. I know my guys. Again, we're in the Big 12 for a reason. We're on this stage for a reason. Collectively, 1 through 5, and everybody coming off the bench, man. I know that we're supposed to be here. Like I said, that run we went on wasn't an accident. We're capable. I was telling them the same thing coming into this locker room after the game. We're capable. We all seen it. Like I said, going on that run wasn't a mistake. Literally, point blank period. We were doing the right things, and like we said, we got away from it going into the second half. So just go to the drawing board and adjust.
Coach Self said after the game that he loved you as a person, wanted you to stay. I know this wasn't the result you wanted, but what does it mean just kind of hear those words from your team?
No, 1,000%. A guy like him who's achieved everything that he has, and just him being him, of course it means a lot. Whether it be peers, coaches, anybody in this basketball world who has any positive, communication for me and feedback, I definitely appreciate it. Again, I know he was someone who also definitely told me what I need to work on as well. So again, as a person, as a coach, man, I respect him.
Malik's had a couple big moments in the last two games, a couple blocks, some really good offensive rebounds. Just talk about his development as a freshman in the Big Man.
One thing I told him is to make sure you play smart. I definitely remember how it was my freshman year, and we all, call it what it is. As you're a freshman, your leash is definitely different than you talk about a junior, senior, fifth-year guy. I told him just, again, when you go into the game, pay attention to what we're supposed to do, what we're running, the play calls, play smart, don't pick up any easy fouls. And, above all else, I can say from Malik, he cares. When the ball got tied up, you see him in that scuffle. And, again, that's just a sign for him that he cares. I love him to death. He's getting better every day in practice, when he's working out, behind closed doors. And, again, his development as a freshman being here, and like I said, I love that he's with me. I get to positively talk to him because, again, I've been through it. I've been in that situation, and I just want what's best for him.
Does it add to your perspective of him knowing that he came off of that knee injury this year and is basically a year back?
1,000%. Again, last year conference when I went down versus K-State and missed all those games, like that was the first time I've ever been out for an injury. So I definitely understand fully what it is to be out from this game, away from this game because of an injury or being hurt. And again, it's not fun. You know, it isn't fun. But obviously getting back into it, I feel like is the most beautiful part of it because, again, there's a lot of dudes that I know personally and just in this basketball world that anything could happen in this game within an instant. You know, you could walk wrong, run wrong, slide the wrong way, and just it's done just like that. So him being able to still be playing and just, you know, see him every day and practice going against him, I love it.
Anything else for the players? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Well, obviously disappointed. I liked what we did the first 10 minutes or so, and loved how we moved the ball and spaced the floor and got off the penetration, but we just couldn't sustain it. And then eventually our defense kind of wore down and got away from us, and just never quite got it back to how we were. And I've got to do a better job of us sustaining, doing what we do well. And as I told our guys, like we've got strengths and we've got to play to them. And I think we got away from some of that, and then our defense kind of was not there to maintain it. So too many baskets around the rim again, and we don't make shots, so it becomes how we handle it. And that's, something we've been challenged by all year long. So, congratulating Kansas, came back from a 14-point deficit pretty quickly, called timeout, probably called another timeout, but we just didn't execute as we needed to do throughout. So, got to stay with what works. But we got stationary offensively, and defensively they shoot 56%. So. It seemed like only 12 turnovers, but they seemed to be live ball turnovers that led to transition. And then we had some transition opportunities we just didn't convert. And that's, I think, something that's been a challenge we've been working on, really trying to do a better job of. But, the things we saw that we let down on today were things we've been working on. So I've got to do a better job of getting that message across and finishing it up and completing that task. So it's on me. Well, I mean, that's basketball. I mean, they could say the same thing about them, for that thing. It's moments, and it's sustaining, and we're battling. Noah's got some foul trouble, so that has some impact. We got him in. They played him a lot actually with having 2 fouls so early. Just didn't get it done. Free throws. I mean, there's things that we're working on. So I don't know if frustrating is the word. We're working on it, and we know. And game is against different time. It's runs and of doing it. But that game was a little different because we had the good start. Made it 3. I mean, Brendan hits his first 3, and I don't think he made one after that. Well, that has something to do with it. Their guy Moore has hit 2 threes on the year, and he hits 3 threes. And does that mean there? What does that mean? Is that you don't call that frustrating? It's just some things. Those things happen, and it's unexplainable, but it happened. And so, we've got to stay with things, and you can do everything right too, and not make the shot, or they make a tough shot, and those things. But you got to do it over 40 minutes, and those made shots didn't happen in the second half, as we know, and the numbers, and so we had our best shooter, I thought, taking good shots. They didn't go. But that's going to happen. You've got to defend, and you've got to do the other things to prepare for those situations. And so, worked fine against Baylor. They didn't go in, but we have to find the other ways, and that's what we're not didn't get done tonight.
You talked about the moment there in the second half, that odd tie-up between Hunter and Trey.
Yeah, I mean, it was on the other side. I didn't see it. I mean, I think it was pretty unimportant, I guess. I mean, I don't know. This guy's, just one of those things. We see that in games, practices, more just jump ball. I don't think anybody did anything dirty or anything. They just wouldn't stop. I guess when no officials did. I don't even know what the T was for. The T's were for, but I guess the officials told them to stop, and they didn't. So that obviously was. So I mean, I don't think that's anything that they had to do something because they didn't do what they were told to do by the officials.
Talk about playing to strengths. A lot of basketball love how does this team need to play? What needs to be the identity of this team for you guys to be successful going forward?
Well, defending and rebounding, and we out-rebounded, Baylor the last game, and, that was, again, the emphasis. And, the rebounding numbers aren't as bad, but in the first half when we were winning, we were up on the rebounds. I mean, we've got to out-rebound people. We're playing big. We play punch in there with Ernest. We're not getting, huge scoring numbers out of those guys, but we've got to get rebounding and defense. And that's the trade-off. And but they give us a good production on a normal basis. But that's what we've got to do. So we got to get we're relying on freshmen, and we got to have freshmen play well. We don't have 50 or seniors out there very often. So we've got to keep trying to come together. We've shown. I think what we really emphasized these last 2 days of practice, we did to the start of that game, and then some missed shots. I think constantly not converting in transition, and then them making some key threes in the second half. Probably if you looked at it, we probably were more open on the threes we missed than the threes that they made. Those are things that usually end up in your favor, but they didn't tonight.
With the Frankie injury, Sean's kind of been put into a bigger role. What's your assessment of him?
We only have really 2 guards, so I don't know how many Division I teams are doing that, but probably a situation unique. Right before the redshirt number of games, it is what it is. We're doing the best we can, and I think Noah's really stepped up and played really well. And Bashan has had a really good start to the game, and we got to sustain it. But we've got to do things better. I wonder about the rotation. We got away from it a little bit. What we wanted to do, some of what we had planned to do. They played smaller. More. I don't know more. We knew they had to just because of their personnel, and their guys hurt us. Again, guys hit 2 threes on the year, hits 3. Those are things you can, those are things we got to do a better job of. But the numbers don't seem to indicate that. But and our best shooter, goes. So we got to defend better. Simply put, we got to out-rebound them by a bigger number. They played smaller. We didn't get it done on the glass. And while they had 17 turnovers, I was a little surprised by. But our 12 seemed to hurt us in transition. They got breakaways out of them. And we got to convert the turnovers. I think that's one thing that's really offensive. We are working a lot on this of turning turnovers into baskets, and we're not as good as as I want to be, and what we've been in the past. And there's obvious reasons for it. We're running freshmen rather than seniors, but we got to get them better.
You mentioned the freshmen and just how young the team is this year. What's the biggest challenge coaching a younger team versus a better team?
Guys, just physically older, first off. Just physical. That's the obvious thing. And then been through it. And, they returning guys versus guys that aren't, in the same place, same program. So I think those are impactful. So, everything's different, as we know. And but, there's other challenges, too, with every team you put together and every team you go against. So, I thought we would have done converted better in transition and done a better job of. We had to. They went small, and we had to out-rebound them by a bigger number. We didn't, and with those turnovers, it seemed our turnovers hurt us more than theirs hurt them.
Coach, just a little bit of a two-parter.
Yeah.
Is this your biggest roster flip that you've ever had?
Oh, yeah. It's probably the biggest in the country. We only got one returning player, so it's not hard to figure out.
So has it been harder to do this than maybe you knew it was going to be tough? Now that you're actually living it and doing it, has it been harder than you thought?
Well, you throw in, we had the senior that had played the most and played this level gets hurt, so you throw that one in there, so I didn't anticipate that. Most teams, if you see what happens when they lose their point guard, give them a call and see how that's going. Practice one way all summer long, all fall, all go into November, then change everything around. We've changed it completely our lineup. So I mean, there's, what was the word you used? I mean, it's never easy. Let's put it this way. It's always, we knew there was going to be some challenges. We're going to be young. We knew that going in, and we knew with NIL and transfer things that you're going to be put in situations in certain places, and I wouldn't use the word harder. You just got to find the way and make guys and come together as a group. And I still think we can do that and understand roles. And if something goes, Noah gets in foul trouble, you got to adjust and make some changes. If your point guard goes down, you got to adjust and make some changes. So you never have it all figured out. And that's where you got to adapt and I think get better and find the way to be the best you can possibly be, given the circumstances. So I don't know. I'm not going to call it hard. I'm calling it. I look at it as fun and a challenge. You make it the best you can possibly be. So I look at it as fun and a challenge. I've had a lot of great teams. I've had teams that are number one in the country, and those were hard too. So this is a challenge, and we're gonna keep going. And we showed moments, Baylor win. We show moments for the first 10 minutes. We got to go and find. And yeah, there's gonna be bad runs. There's gonna be a bad stretch, and somebody's gonna get in foul trouble, and somebody's gonna not make some shots, and somebody's gonna just make some shots for the other team. You just keep trusting in what you're doing, and that's what we got to do. And I got to do a better job of getting that across.
Anything else, Coach?
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thanks for being here. Thank you.